We plan to repeal Obamacare, and the American Healthcare Bill, which we plan to put in its place, is intended to lower premiums for those who want to buy less through health coverage, tailored only to the insurances that they need, like for young people who are at risk for fewer health problems. The House bill also calls for gradually decreasing federal aid to states' health care. Decreasing the amount of money the federal government pours into healthcare will lower the deficit by a projected $119 billion over 10 years, and increase the control that states have over their own healthcare. These modifications would make buying health insurance costly for some, it is true, and I am aware of the congressional budget report stating that this plan will have 23 million fewer on healthcare, and the concerns over some necessary facets of healthcare being covered. But the health of our citizens is of the utmost importance, and these factors will be discussed thoroughly in drafting the Senate version of the bill. The House has put together the first draft, and now, as a U.S. Senate leader, I carry the responsibility of reconciling the opinions of our 52 Republican senators in our discussion and drafting of the bill. In doing so, we can form a united front against the Democratic opposition. We do have the majority in the Senate, but it is slim. It does not negate the need for solidarity on this issue in this vote. There is also huge pressure from the public to make changes to the House bill, as the Senate is the only government body able to make such changes besides the House itself. Hey. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning.
It's nice to be meeting with you today.
It's nice to meet you on this great fine morning.
All right. Hey, so the Senate refuses to vote on the House's version of the American Healthcare Act and is instead drafting their own bill. Senate Majority's leader, Mitch McConnell, has said that Obamacare must be replaced. Charles Schumer, Senate Minority Leader, is here to discuss the issue.
The HCA would make insurance rates go up. It gets rid of the requirement for all citizens to purchase it, and thus increases rates for those who do not need it. Increased rates make it extremely difficult for people who need healthcare the most to obtain it, especially members of the lower class. Under it, the federal government would also decrease state funding and Medicaid.
Back in January, you said that if Republicans repeal Obamacare and do not have a proper plan to replace it, you will not provide any support to them. Does this still hold true?
Yes. Republicans would be taking healthcare away from millions of Americans. The House has barely repealed Obamacare. If the bill that is created in the Senate is anything like the American Healthcare Act, I will not support it.
There are 13 GOP senators that are drafting the House bill. Though their views are varied, their aim is the same: to repeal Obamacare. What is your concern for the Senate bill?
The group drafting the bill is a group of all white men, like me, a white man, whose goal is to just get the 51 votes needed to pass the bill. The version of the bill may be very different from the House's version, but it will no doubt be as harmful to the American people. The American Healthcare Act would cut taxes for the wealthy, going against the redistribution of wealth and harming the lower class. A repeal of Obamacare would cause millions to lose health insurance. We must ensure that our people stay insured.
Any last comments, Senator?
It took Republicans quite a long time to get the bill to just pass the House. I will continue to campaign against the repeal of Obamacare in the Senate. I have stated that we, Democrats, are willing to better Obamacare, but we stand by not repealing it. It is what we believe in and what we stand for. All citizens of America deserve health insurance, and I agree Obamacare is far from perfect. But the Healthcare Act Republicans are trying to pass will be a huge step backwards.
Thank you for your time, Senator.
Of course, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, Senator.
Of course, thank you. Thank you very much.
Today, we look at some of the developments in the journey of the new Trump Care bill that has been working its way through Congress. The bill has pushed through the House of Representatives with a 217 to 213 simple majority vote, but it looks like the Senate has some other ideas. Right after the House Republicans told of their victory to the press, the Senate Republicans came in singing a new song.
Well, it looks like we'll be writing up our own legislation in replacement of Obamacare. It's essentially going to be a Senate bill.
Whoa, what? Our buddies in the House just got a bill passed through their side of the Congress. Now you want to start back at square one? Okay, I mean, you do you.
The House bill first has to go to the Senate Budget Committee and get 51 votes in order to be approved, to see which of its components abide the rules of reconciliation. After that, the Senate Finance Committee and Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee can get started on a new bill. There are other ways the bill could be passed through, of course. Mitch McConnell could just move the bill to the Senate floor, according to Democratic senators. One thing is for sure, until the AHCA bill is passed through Congress, no fiscal year 2018 budget resolutions for tax reform and other elements can be passed.
Despite the halt that this bill is causing in Congress, the bright side is that a Congressional Budget Office analysis of the bill said that it would, unlike Obamacare, reduce the budget deficit by $337 billion. You hear that, Democrats? $337 billion. Gone from the budget deficit. I don't know if that's something you guys understand or not, but I know that's something I like to hear.
When you look at the situation of the senators a little closer, though, it kind of makes sense why they want to start from the basics. Senate Republicans represent much larger constituent groups than House members, entire states as opposed to just congressional districts. The House Republicans called for higher premiums for patients with pre-existing conditions, and removed the insurance coverage of anti-drug programs that were required under Obamacare. Senators who represent states affected by the opioid epidemic have reasons to be concerned by the scarce coverage of the proposed healthcare plan.
Regardless, if there's one thing we can count on in all this, it's that we can't count on what we think is going to happen, because clearly, everyone has a different agenda in mind.